Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Om Shanti, 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 Om.
Kim Junghwan was born in 1983 in Seoul, South Korea. From an early age, he was a fan of baseball, a passion which he shared with his father, who would go on to have a very strong influence in his career. One of his early ambitions was to become a breakdancer. Kim attended Hongiksa University High School, which was also attended by future teammate Won Woo-young and Olympic bronze medalist Choi Byung-chul. He was encouraged into fencing because of his interesting physique, having been blessed with very long arms, a trait which he inherited from his grandfather.
근데 이 펜싱 같은 경우에는 팔이 긴 게 정말 유리한 요건 중에 하나 조건이거든요. 그때부터 좀 이제 제가 신체 조건이 유리하다는 걸 안 후부터 좀 펜싱에 대해서 열심히 하고 갈망을 했던 것 같아요.
Kim burst onto the international fencing scene in 2005 when he won his debut World Cup at home in Seoul. However, the celebrations were short-lived as he failed the doping test and was suspended for a year from international fencing. Kim claimed that in order to deal with the stress of competing, his doctor had prescribed him sleeping medication to help him rest before the event. Unbeknownst to him, the medication contained the banned substance hydrochlorothiazide, a diuretic that can be used to hide the use of other banned substances. The fight to get back on the national team was difficult for Kim. As he wrestled with the desire to quit, his father persuaded him to keep going. Eventually, he hit a patch of good form, winning bronze at the 2007 Plovdiv World Cup and then gold in Warsaw. As a car enthusiast, one of Kim's motivations for success was to earn enough money from fencing to afford his dream car. However, after saving enough, he decided to wait and save more so he could afford to buy a more expensive new sedan for his father, who had been driving the same car for the past 20 years. Kim's success, however, led to pride, which in turn led to complacency, and as a result, one of the biggest regrets of his career. Due to a poor run of form, Kim missed out on selection for the Beijing Olympics in 2008, which would begin one of the toughest parts of his life. In 2009, Kim's father passed away unexpectedly. Naturally, the loss of such a supportive figure in his life affected him enormously. This was made worse by the fact that his father never got to see him fence at the Olympics, and he had never been able to buy him the car he had been saving for. Once again, Kim felt an overwhelming urge to quit the sport, but this time it was teammate Won Woo-young that brought him back. Kim had always idolised Won, seeing him as an older brother. And when Won Woo-young won the World Championships in 2010, Kim and the Korean fencers gained a new confidence in their abilities. In 2012, the Korean Sabre team toured Europe in preparation for the London Olympics. After training in Italy, they moved on to Russia. At competitions, the Russian fencers rarely spoke with the Koreans. Kim felt that this was because the Russians looked down on them. This led to a rather cold and tense training environment. In order to break the ice, both teams went out for a meal together, and with the help of a few drinks they resolved their issues. The Russians explained to Kim their team policies prevented them from having extended conversations with foreign athletes at competitions. After resolving their misunderstandings, Kim felt a new confidence, and in the short period training with his new Russian friends, he felt his style move away from the timid plays towards the confident actions for which we now know him for.
Wow. Okay.
The final leg of their tour was in Romania, and at the end of a productive and friendly training camp, the two teams went out to eat together. Having been asked to make a toast, Kim declared that he hoped the Romanian and Korean teams would meet in the final at the Olympic Games. And guess what happened next? The 2012 Olympic victory marks an important milestone in Korean fencing. They had gone from a small nation to a mid-tier nation who could occasionally pull upsets and win medals, to now a major player. In the 2013-14 and 2014-15 seasons, Gu Bong-gil and Kim Junghwan both occupied the number 1 and 2 spots respectively in the FIE rankings.
And maybe he did. At 31 years of age, Kim Junghwan finally hoists individual gold.
Of Korea in 2014.
And at the 2016 Rio Olympics, Kim took home the bronze medal, losing only to eventual winner Aron Siladi in the semi-final. Kim finished the season ranked number 1 in the world, and as a result was declared the winner of the FIE World Cup Series. The era of Korean dominance in team events began in 2017, when they won the World Championships for the first time.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit, but Oh Sang-guk one away from Korea taking the world title.
Yeah, and that is it.
They also reached the number 1 ranking spot, ending a period of solid Russian dominance. At the 2018 World Championships, Korea would win the Team Sabre event for the second year in a row, and Kim reached what he thought would be the pinnacle of his career.
The 14-11 the score. Dershowitz goes on the attack, but it's parried, and it is the gold medal to Kim Junghwan.
After finally winning the individual World Championship title, Kim announced that after the Asian Games in a few months' time, he would retire from fencing for good. The Korean team went on to beat a strong Iranian team in the final of the 2018 Asian Games, and Kim ended his career on a high note.
오상욱이 자신의 힘으로 해냅니다. 그 당시에 최근에 또 여러 프로 종목들에서
However, retirement wasn't easy for Kim. Without fencing in his life, everything felt empty. To fill the void that was left in his life, he took up darts. After spending $150 in one night on a darts machine in a bar, he ended up buying his own and putting it in his fencing cell. He claims to have reached a professional level in the game. By April 2019, Kim was itching to compete again, and the Seoul Grand Prix was just the perfect opportunity to quench his thirst for competition. However, what was meant to be a guest appearance turned into a bit of a comeback. He won the bronze medal. The retired Kim competed at the next 2 World Cups, finishing 9th in Madrid and then 6th in Moscow.
Here we go. Salagi, oh, falls short. Oh.
There's the line again.
Oh, he's got it.
Attack, Korea
Oh,
win.
has got it.
World champion.
Oh, they've done the three-peat. Korea have won this gold medal for the 3rd time of asking. And wow, what drama.
At the 2019 World Championships in Budapest, without Kim Junghwan, Korea won the Team Sabre, for the third time in a row, finishing the season ranked number 1 yet again. Despite their continued success, Kubongil felt that the new team, despite its talent, would need the experience of Junghwan in order to best perform at Tokyo 2020. So he called up his old friend and persuaded him to try to get back onto the national team. Kim was easily persuaded. At the 2019 pre-season Korean national competitions, the team for the next season would be decided. The 4 fencers to come out on top were Kubongil, FIE Hall of Famer and member of the 2012 Olympic winning team. Kim Jun-ho, one of the newcomers, with one of the most unique styles in fencing.
공격권 잡았습니다. 예, 좋았어요. 때립니다.
Oh Sang-guk, at 21 years old, he was given the nickname the Terminator. After winning the World Championships at such a young age, he's regarded as many as the most talented fencer alive.
O's world champion. Yep.
Then of course, there was our protagonist, Kim Junghwan, who brought a lifetime of experience which would prove to be vital for the team's continued success. In late 2019, the Korean national coach, Yoo Sang-jul, was dismissed amid controversies over how he was taking some of the prize monies from his fencers. Left without a coach, the team, who were later dubbed the Avengers by Korean media, relied on each other for advice and support. The COVID pandemic pushed the Olympics back a year, and fencers around the world struggled with lockdowns and restrictions. But eventually things opened up enough to allow fencing to resume, albeit without the usual crowds and buzz the Olympics usually bring. In the individual event at Tokyo, Oh Sang-guk, who was heavily favoured to medal, was knocked out in the quarter-final by the fierce Georgian Sandro Bazadze. Oh lost the match by a single point. There was a controversial moment when the scorekeepers unwittingly added an additional point to the Georgian score. However, throughout the bout, Oh seemed shaken, and for the first time in his career, he seemed to display nerves. After the defeat, Kim approached his teammate and explained to him where he went wrong. Kim would later fence Bazadze in a bronze medal match, where beforehand he instructed Oh to watch and learn to see how it's done. Kim beat Bazadze 15-11, winning his 3rd consecutive medal at the Olympic Games. In a team event, Korea's biggest challenge was against Germany in the semi-finals. The match was possibly the most intense in modern history. For 3 of the 4 German fencers, this would be their final outing before retirement, so they fenced as if their lives depended on it. In the end, the Avengers won by 3 points, with Oh Sang-guk closing the match out at 45-42.
한번 통하지 않았고 들어가서 불 켜면 되는데 지금 공격권 내줬는데요. 끝까지. 예. 비스트 끝죠. 오상욱이 마지막 포인트를 책임지면서 대한민국이 오늘 여기
김종환 선수, 구봉의 선수 쓰니까.
예.
The Olympic final was a one-sided affair. Korea won 45-26.
그 9년
네, 너무 잘했어요. 진짜.
최강임을 또 한 번 입증해냈습니다.
The Avengers returned home to Korea as heroes. After the victory in 2012, the team decided against making big media appearances, but this time they made the most of their fame. The team made a series of major media appearances, almost as if they were a new K-pop boy band. When pressed on how long he intends to continue fencing, Kim stated that he will aim to continue until the 2022 Asian Games, if he is physically able. Despite his age, Kim's success continued, winning 4 World Cup medals in a row in the post-Olympic season.
But Kim Junghwan of Korea is an absolute superstar. What a performance from him.
After the Asian Games were pushed forwards to 2023, It looks very likely that Kim will try to carry on until the 2024 Paris Olympics, potentially his 4th consecutive games, where he could compete at the age of 41. He will certainly be encouraged to carry on by his teammates and by the new Korean national coach and former teammate Won Woo-young.
In a row, they signal.
The recurring theme throughout the career of this legendary fencer can be boiled down to one phrase. It's never over.